What is going on, tube? Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gents. Today's little video, man, Sixpack and a Durango. We got some new news about those. Obviously, the Sixpack just came out, so let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm gonna try not to drag this on as long as, you know, I can. I can talk about this type of stuff all day, but I'm gonna try to keep it short, sweet, and simple for you guys. So, getting right into it. One, I was a little confused on why Dodge tried to, you know, be all mysterious and tried to make it seem like the Sixpack was a new vehicle that was coming out. Like, yes, it's newly hitting the streets, but it's not like a new release. Like, you guys showed us this back when the original EVs and stuff. You showed us alongside the EVs. Like, we knew it was coming. So why you guys put that little car cover up there and try to make it change the shape of it and try to make it seem like it was a completely new car is beyond me. It might have fooled some people, but I found it extremely hard to believe that with all the changeover, with all the CEO changes, management, all that jazz has been going on, the pushback on the EPA, the dialing back of the EVs, I just found it very hard with all of that changeover going on and all of that money lost that you still had time to develop and come out with a new product, that you just had a new product just waiting to drop it on us like that. I found it hard to believe, and lo and behold, I was right. And look where we are now. Also, before we get too far into it, I was right about those damn EVs, wasn't it? Remember I said no one was gonna buy those damn things? Remember I said that? Look where we are. The RT EV is completely gone, and SRT, scatpack or whatever, the scatpack Daytona is by order only. So I told you guys it wasn't gonna do well. I told you the only ones that were gonna buy that thing were gonna be people who just have to have it first. Like, oh, I'm the first in my city with it. I'm the first one in Memphis, first one in Charlotte or some shit like that. I told you guys, those are the only people who bought those things. And of course, the people who just buy everything. And of course, the guys who just want to try something different. They have all of those EV offers out there from Tesla, Porsche, Kia, all the different EV makers out there and EV cars they have out there, and they wanted something different, something that with a little more style to it. And you know, nothing against those guys, they just wanted something different. So, but that's not gonna save a company. You need people who want the car, people who are gonna keep coming back, people who are gonna spread the love, people who want, be like, damn, that's nice, I want that. You want people to keep coming back. And unfortunately, your people who just want to try something new and the people who just want to have it first aren't gonna keep coming back. They're gonna have it for a couple of months, and then once the next thing comes out, they're gonna get something else. Like that's just reality of it. You want people to flood the freaking dealerships to get these cars, and the EVs with the pricing and the fact that it's an EV, just wasn't gonna do it. But this video isn't about that, it's about the Sixpack, so let's get into it real quick. I'm trying to hurry up and talk fast, so sorry if I'm speaking a little too fast, because it's hot as crap out here, and then I start sweating like a freaking pig up in this bitch. So, the performance and weight of these things, man, the price for the RT is gonna be $51,000. For the RT, 420 horsepower. The Scatpack is gonna be 56,550 horsepower. Right now, those are the only two variants for the Hurricane engines. Unfortunately, they are a bit hefty at 4,800 pounds, and a lot of people have been harping on them. Even I was harping on it for the weight. I'm like, why do they keep getting heavier? But the Hellcats were pretty freaking heavy. These cars are heavier than my Hellcat, which is crazy to me. They're heavier than the outgoing Hellcats. They don't make as much power as the outgoing Hellcats, but they do have all-wheel drive, and that might help it sell to more buyers out there. Unfortunately, I do think with the name that this engine is attached to, I think that's gonna kill it. That's just me talking. I was right before, I feel like I'm gonna be right again. But if you don't put this in any other car, like, I don't know, bring back the Chrysler SRT6. You need to have to make it an SRT6. You need to have to make it an SRT, because that would have drove a premium. You could have just made it the Chrysler Crossfire again and put this engine in there, made it all-wheel drive just like these, and you'd have had a killer out there. Made it 4,300 pounds. Sure, it'd have been a heavier coupe, but what the hell ain't heavy these days? Like, let's be realistic, guys. Like, I was a little, harsh on these cars for being so heavy when they first came out, but after, digging into it, RS6 is heavy as shit. M5 weighs a goddamn Titanic boatload. E63, the C63, both of those, 6,000, 5,000 plus pounds. Like, what isn't heavy these days? M5, M8, E63, GT63, SE hybrids, the Porsche Panamera, everything is heavy. Audi RS6, Audi RS7, S8, all those things are 48, 49, 5,000 pounds plus. Like, those are heavy cars. Now, I will say those cars are a little more sought after than a freaking inline 6 Charger, but they're still heavy. They do have a little more power than these guys do. So I just, while we are harsh on these cars for, you know, not being the lightest, everything's heavy these days. Like, I'm not gonna beat up on them too bad, but they are still heavy, and I just don't think they're gonna have the athletic chops to compete with the other offerings out there. Like, I don't know, the G80, that's nowhere near as heavy as these cars is, and I know for a fact it's gonna run circles around both of them. Like, whether it's the RT or the Scat Pack, the G80 is gonna dance around these all day. Now, the G80 does command quite a bit more money, so it's a little more pricey than these cars, but straight 6, all-wheel drive, that sounds like it's we see what that's aimed at. You know what I'm saying? While this may not compete in price, this definitely competes with the specs. Like, the power is there, the pricing is competitive, that's for sure. 56,000 for 550 horsepower, that's competitive. However, with that weight difference, it's not going to be too competitive. It's not going to be an athletic car. I don't think she's going to be a crazy corner carver or anything like that. Like, but a stoplight to stoplight warrior, these might be some fun cars. Will it save Dodge? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, man, but I don't know, man. I don't think the people is asking for this, man. I've seen the comments already. People have been yapping, and they're not too enthused about this. Like, Josh keeps trying to be mysterious, like, we're not saying that we can't offer a V8 in there. We're not saying that we can't stuff a V8 engine in there. Well, if you're gonna do it, you might want to do it quick. Like, if you can keep it 4,800 pounds with the all-wheel drive system and give it Hellcat-like power, 750, 700, 800, 900, you know, give us something up there, you'd have a competitor on your hands, especially if it's all-wheel drive. Like, the all-wheel drive is the key. The problem with the Hellcats now is they just can't put the power down on the street. That's why you see a lot of stoplight races or a lot of street races where these things are losing, because the all-wheel drive cars out there are beating them up. But you see Trackhawks, Durango Hellcats, and TRXs out there just beating shit up on the street when they get power behind them, when they get the mods, the pulleys, the E85 and stuff. They go out there and they start tearing up the streets because of that crazy all-wheel drive system. It's great. But the two-wheel drive cars, you know, the Charger Challenger, they just struggle. They just struggle. They can't put the power down unless it's a prep surface or the driver is, you know, lucky enough that the other car in the other lane is also rear-wheel drive. So yeah, if you can give us V8 power, Hellcat-like power for all-wheel drive, I think you might have a car that can compete, and I think you might have a car that could potentially save the brand. Unfortunately, I don't think the Sixpack is going to do it. I'm just being honest with you guys, man. It's good. They're working with what they got. Like I said, this car was already coming in the pipelines. They're trying to give us something that the people might actually, you know, want to drive versus the EV offerings out there. People just aren't on board with that shit, man. That's the reality of it. So they have the engine, they have the car, they have the platform. They're just using what they have right now. Like, I get it. Like, like I said, there's a lot of changeover and stuff happening in the brand. Not saying that they can't or they won't give us a V8 offering, but I'm saying if they are, they need to, like I said, keep it, you know, 750, 800 plus, keep it all-wheel drive, and I think people, you might have something that people actually want. Like, that will be, oh boy, that's gonna be some shit up on the street. All-wheel drive, 800 horsepower. Yeah, we finally have some M5 and E63 competitors that don't need a prep surface. Like, Hellcats are faster regardless than those cars. Like, I've shown it and proved it time and time again. Like, they're faster. However, all-wheel drive on the street, that's pretty tough to beat. And like, the Hellcats they just can't put the power down on an unprepped surface, man. But enough yapping about that. Let's move on to the Durango for a little bit. I see I'm starting to perspire a little bit. So basically, for the Durango, is dropping the V6 and is now getting the SRT 392 treatment. If you guys remember, the SRT 392 was a trim level between the Scat Pack, the RT Scat Pack, and the SRT Hellcat. There was the SRT 392. I believe 2018 was the last year that you can get one. And basically, it was the Hellcat, had the Hellcat wheels, Hellcat brakes, Hellcat seats, not the branding and stuff. It just said SRT at the time, but the Hellcat seats, leather, all that jazz, all the stuff, the Hellcat suspension, the 3-mode adaptive suspension, had everything that the Hellcat had except the Hellcat engine. That was it. So it was a gussied up, if you want to go there, a pretty fine or a more expensive Scat Pack. There, I said it. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but it is. It did carry the SRT nameplate, so they do have that going for them. But yeah, that's what it was, and that's what is basically happening here. So they killed off the SRT 392. As a matter of fact, if you go on the website right now, you actually can't even select that as an option. There's no SRT 392. It's just 1,000,001 V6 options, 1,000,001 RT options, no 392 options, and then you just have the Hellcat. So for this next model year, you're dropping the GT or dropping the V6 completely. The 5.7 will slide to the GT trim. The 392 will slide to the RT trim, and the SRT is going to be Hellcat only, just like what happened with the Charger and the Challenger. SRT was Hellcat only. The GT was starting at $44,000. The 392 is being touted as the cheapest or the most horsepower for under $50,000 for the Durango. It's like $49,500 or something like that. So after tax, title, and any option that you add to it, it's going to push it back above the $50,000 mark. But whatever, the base model technically is, you know, less than 50K. And of course, the Hellcat Charger takes a huge jump up to $81,000, which is still cheaper than the outgoing model year. They're running out of time. They're working with what they got, man. At least they're trying. With the pushback and all that jazz, they're working with what they got, man. I'm not mad at it. Do I think it's gonna save the brand? No, I think they definitely have a little more work to do, but they're working with what they got, man. They have the internal combustion engines. They know people just do not want the EVs, so hopefully people will buy more into this. I don't think they will, but I do believe it's going to do better than the EVs did. Like, they're just a tough sell, man. You can tell Dodge didn't really have their heart in those cars because they didn't put no effort into them. Like, what happened to the Banshee? Crickets. No one said or heard anything about the damn Banshee since. Like, nothing. Crickets. So yeah, that tells you where their head was with the EVs, man. They saw that was a failure on the way, and good thing they were able to get ahead of it and hopefully get the brand turned around. But yeah, that's really all I got for you guys, man. Like I said, I don't think it's going to save the brand by any means, but I do think this is a step in the right direction, giving the people more of what they want, and, you know, less of what they have to give people. You know what I'm saying? Do I believe a V8 option is on the way? Yes, eventually. Obviously, we've already seen that the TRX is coming back. We've already seen that the Hellcat, the price is dropping for the Hellcat Durango. Unfortunately, I haven't seen any rumors of a Trackhawk coming back, but I don't see why they can't bring that back. But basically what I think they're gonna have to do is just more power. Keep that all-wheel drive system. If you can keep it 4,800 pounds, because I've looked at other cars out there, like, everything is heavy as hell. The M5 is heavier. The E63, the C63, they're both heavier. Audi RS6, RS7, they're all heavy as hell. 48, 4,900, 5,000 plus pounds. So if you can keep it 49 or 4,800 pounds with the all-wheel drive system and a Hellcat powertrain, we might be on to something. I think that's something that people can get behind, even if they can't go out here. Oh, this vehicle does have the option to just turn it rear wheel drive only. So the fact that people can still go out there and hoon around and, you know, do donuts and burnouts and stuff, perfect. Give us all of that shit, but with a Hellcat powertrain, and you're golden. You're good. I think this is, like I said, this is a step in the right direction. Is this going to save the brand? Not just yet. But if you give the people what they want, you might be onto something. But like I said, I'm out of time here, guys. I'm starting to turn into a pig in a blanket. So your first time stopping by, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you guys get notification these videos go up. So go to the Instagram channel at low376so, all one word. And if you agree with what I'm saying, drop down below. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. I'm out of here. Peace.